You're talking to a girl. She's laughing at everything you're saying, not because it's funny, because she can't help it. You haven't complimented her once. You haven't tried to impress her. You just walked over, said something quiet, and now she's leaning in like the rest of the room doesn't exist. A year ago, you would have spent the whole night standing against that wall. 6 months ago, you would have overthought the opener until she was already gone. But tonight, something is different. Tonight, it's effortless. But first, we have to see how you got here. Level 1. You're at a party. Music's loud, room's packed, and there's a girl across the room. She looks at you. You look away. Not smoothly. Instantly. You spent the next hour pretending to be very busy on a phone with no notifications. You rehearse an opener 17 times in your head and never say it. You leave at 11, alone, and on the way home that one thought hits you. Next time I'll say something. You won't. Because at level 1, the conversation is already over before it begins. Not because you're ugly, not because you're boring, but because somewhere along the way, you decided the answer was no, before you ever asked the question. You dressed that decision up and called it being realistic. It's not realistic, it's just fear with a suit on. And the worst part is nobody around you can tell the difference. You seem fine, but inside every social situation feels like a test you didn't study for, and the clock is always running out. Level 2. She posted a story. It's been sitting there for 4 hours and you've opened it 6 times. You type, haha, that's so funny. Delete. OMG, where is that? Delete. Hey. You stare at those 3 Ys like they contain the secrets of the universe, debate it for a full minute, and send it. She responds, LOL. 1 word. You screenshot it and send it to your friend. Bro, what does that mean? He says, I don't know, man. In real life, it's the same movie on repeat. You rehearse the opener in your head 6 times, and by the time you've talked yourself into it, she's already gone. And on the rare occasion you actually say something, she responds normally, and your mind goes completely blank. You're not bad at this. You're just living entirely inside your own head. And your head at this point is the worst wingman you've ever had. It overthinks everything, misreads everything, and talks you out of every moment that could have actually gone somewhere. Level 3. You decided to fix it. You watched the videos, read the threads, took actual notes. Eye contact, got it. Open body language, got it. Mirroring, got it. You go out and you run the checklist. And here's what nobody told you. People don't feel techniques, they feel energy. And right now, your energy says, I am running a program. The person you're talking to can't explain why the conversation feels slightly off, but they feel it. Something is rehearsed, something is mechanical. Like talking to someone who's performing the idea of a normal person, rather than actually being one. You also go way too deep on the compliments. You're literally so amazing. I've never met anyone like you. Bro, you've only known her for 11 minutes. The techniques aren't wrong. You're just wearing them like a costume at a party, where everyone came in normal clothes. And everyone can see it. Level 4. Level 4 is actually pretty good, and that's what makes it dangerous. Conversations don't die anymore. You can hold an interaction without internally panicking. You've had dates, you get numbers, things are moving. But watch what happens the moment she texts you. She sends 1 message, you respond in a second. She takes 2 hours, you respond directly again. She posts a story. You're the first view every single time. She cancels the date and you immediately offer 3 alternative days in the same message. You're not desperate, but you have 0 tension, and without tension, there is no pull and nothing to chase. You became so available that you accidentally became invisible again, just in a different way than level 1. Level 1, you disappeared before the conversation started. Level 4, you disappear slowly, over text, by being just a little too eager, just a little too consistently. That's the quiet tragedy of level 4. Everything is fine, nothing is on fire. And that's exactly the problem. Level 5. Most people live their entire lives here. And honestly, it's not bad at all. You're funny, you're likable, conversations flow. People genuinely enjoy being around you. But there's this moment. You're talking to someone, something real starts happening. You can feel the energy shift, and you pull back. Not because you don't want it, but because what if it goes wrong? What if it gets weird? What if you say the wrong thing and ruin something that was actually going well? So you make a joke instead. You diffuse the tension, you keep it safe. You stay in the comfortable middle ground, where nobody gets rejected and nobody gets anywhere either. Most people call this not rushing things. It's not patience. It's the fear of rejection wearing a very convincing disguise. And level 5 is comfortable enough that most people never feel enough pain to push past it. They just live here, perfectly fine, perfectly stuck. Level 6. Nobody teaches you this one. You just wake up one day and something has quietly shifted. You stop trying to say the right thing and started just moving. You suggest the place, you set the time, you make the call. Not because you read it somewhere, but because waiting for the perfect moment stopped making sense to you. You realized the perfect moment is the one you create. And the humor changed too. It stopped being prepared and started being real. An actual observation about what's happening right now, in this specific moment, with this specific person. And people laugh differently at that. Not out of politeness, but because they can feel the difference between someone performing funny and someone actually being funny. But the biggest shift at level 6, the one that changes everything, is what you learned about silence. You can sit in 3 seconds of silence, hold a calm smile, and say absolutely nothing. And the other person feels it, every time. Because silence is only uncomfortable if you make it uncomfortable, and you stopped doing that. Level 7. Think about someone you've met once, maybe twice, but you remember every single thing they said to you. You find yourself quoting them weeks later, and you're not even sure why they stuck with you so much. At level 7, that's what you feel like to everyone around you. Because at level 7, you finally understood the thing that separates everyone below from everyone above. Rizz isn't about what you say, it's about how you make someone feel about themselves when they're talking to you. You ask different questions now. Not what do you do, but the question behind the question. What made you choose that? And people on the very first conversation tell you things they haven't told people they've known for years. Then they pause, look at you, and say, I don't know why I just told you that. You do. It's because you actually listened, not waiting for your turn, actually there. And in a world where almost nobody does that, it's the most disarming thing imaginable. Level 8. You walk into a party. You don't announce yourself. You don't scan the room like you're looking for an opportunity. You just walk in, and something shifts. Subtle but real. A few conversations slow down. A few heads turn. Not because you did anything, just because you arrived. At level 8, you don't open people anymore. People open you. Strangers start conversations with you first. People find reasons to stand near you. They introduce themselves and feel good about it afterward, without knowing why. Your compliments land completely differently now. Not because they're more clever, but because they're specific and true and unexpected. Not, you look nice, but something you actually noticed that nobody else bothered to see. And you've mastered the one thing that almost nobody gets right. You know when to leave. Most people stay too long, water down the impression, overstay the welcome. You leave on the high note every single time. You end the conversation when it's good. And that's why people think about you after you're gone. Level 9. You ever get that feeling where you just don't need to chase anymore? Not as a strategy, not as a tactic you read about online, you just genuinely don't need to. There's no hunger behind your eyes, no agenda running underneath the conversation. You're just there, and somehow that's the most magnetic thing in the room. And the thing most people never understand is that the version of you that doesn't need their approval is always more attractive than the version that does. There's also something else that happens at level 9 that nobody warns you about. People feel a quiet pressure when they're around you. Not because you judge them, but because you hold yourself to something, and that something is visible, and it makes them want to hold themselves to something too. Conversations get more honest. People sit up straighter. They say what they actually mean instead of what they think you want to hear. And rejection, when it happens, and it still happens, stopped meaning anything a long time ago. Not because you're numb to it, but because you genuinely know your worth, and you don't need a stranger at a party to confirm it. Level 10. There are moments in your life you don't forget. You're in a room, everything is normal, and then someone walks in and something just happens. Nobody planned it, nobody can explain it. But every head turns and every conversation slows down, and the whole energy shifts in a way that has nothing to do with looks or money or status. You felt that before. You've been in a room with someone like that. And at level 10, that someone is you. It's not a skill anymore. It's not a technique. It's not something you turn on. It's just who you are. Every word lands. Every silence pulls. Every room rearranges itself around you without you asking. And remember that girl from the beginning. The one laughing at everything you were saying, leaning in like the rest of the room didn't exist. That's not luck. That's not a trick. That's just what level 10 feels like from the inside. And if you actually want to get there, I've created a playlist that breaks down exactly how to move from wherever you are right now to the next level. But before we never see each other again, subscribe so you don't miss any self-improvement content in the future. See you in the next one.